Happy Thursday, November 9th. November 9th. This weekend is Veterans Day. This weekend is also my son's birthday. Looking forward to that. This is also 1 week away from Extra Give. We are in the kind of the middle of fall. Daylight saving has come to an end. It is now lighter in the morning, darker early at night. How are you doing this wonderful Thursday? We got a full show today. I've got a sheet full of stuff here to talk about. I've got some good jokes. I think they're good. I hope you like them. What are you up to today? Are you enjoying the end of daylight savings? I don't know. For me, I don't know about you. What do you guys think? I've loved when my alarm goes off in the morning. It's just slightly light as I'm getting into the bathroom to get ready. The sun is coming up. It is bright. It makes me feel better. But I'll tell you, I don't know about the other side then, and maybe somebody, this is why you don't like it, is I'm driving home from work and it is dark. So anyway, I don't know. Are you enjoying the end of daylight savings? How are you doing? I'd love to hear from you. Put your thoughts there in the comments. And we've got a full show, so let's jump in. So here we go. Why don't I start with some good dad jokes? I know good is always the word that you say. Do you really want to put that in front of dad jokes? Yes, I think they're good. Here we go. Hopefully it puts a smile on your face. So first one, this is a question for you. Here's a question for you. Someone asked me the other day, how can a room full of married people actually be empty? Thought about it a while. I don't know. If it's a room full of married people, it's not empty. They said, well, actually, no, it's empty because there's not a single person there. There you go. There you go. How about that one? Not a single person there. I know. Can't get this kind of content. I mean, where else can you get it? Okay, next one. Friend said to me the other day, I am just, he looks sad. I'd ask him. He says, I'm so sad. My obese parrot died today. I was like, wow, that's sad. I've never seen an obese parrot, but obviously you've been close and it's heavy on your mind and heart. He goes, yeah, mind you, it's a huge weight off my shoulders. Okay, one more, then we'll jump in. My doctor told me I'm going deaf. That was hard to hear. Okay, here we go. That's hopefully puts a little smile on your face to get us going today. Okay, we've got a lot of fun, exciting stuff to talk about, good stuff to talk about. I want to start with this. This is a fun one. This is actually, let's jump right in with this. This is really fun. So if you think of it as this building was gifted, the building that I'm sitting in right now, the factory is in, it was gifted to us in 2017 for $1 from the Peckley Valley School District. An incredible gift, just an absolute incredible gift. Our partnership is deep. The work that we do together, exciting, life-changing. And so they said, hey, here's the building. So the reality is, though, this building was built in 1927. So it's needed upgraded. It's needed work. So we've been doing a lot of work on this building. If you've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, you've seen some significant changes here to the building. The cool thing is, just about 98% of that work. There's a few little projects here and there that this is not true of, but 98%, all the big projects have been accomplished through grants, whether it be the High Foundation has stepped into that. We've had other grantors. We've had community development block grants have been significant. Got a roof done. We had another community development block grant. And this is an incredible story. I want to just spend some time. I'm going to show you pictures here in a minute. We don't have ADA bathrooms. So we think of the work that we do. I mean, that's important to us. We want ADA bathrooms. So we said, how do we do that? How do we make that happen? So we began looking at options. We applied for a community development block grant. That's a federal grant. We got it 3 years ago. So excited about that. And we said, okay, let's step out. So we set out and because it's a federal grant and it's a community development block grant, you have to bid out and you have to award it to the lowest bidder and there's all these regulations and things around it. So we go through the process roughly 2.5, 3 years ago, and we didn't get competitive bids. We only had one actually bid to qualified. So we're like, so we then have to rebid the project. So we do that. COVID was also in there. We had to get an extension because of COVID and the prices and everything was going crazy. And then we had rebid it that second time. Well, the second time we got a whole ton of qualifying bids, but on our end, we made a clerical mistake. And an error, misunderstanding between us and the group that gives us the grant. And so it didn't get published right. So therefore they said, sorry, we can't take these bids. They don't count. So this time we run a third time. Now we're nervous at this point because, you're like, well, is anyone even going to bid now because of the way this is drug out and the credibility of it and all on and on it goes. So we went out to all the builders and said, hey, here's the deal. Will you bid again? And so we didn't know what was going to come. We went and opened the bids and we only had 2 bids. Now, luckily, they both qualified. They both counted, so we could actually receive it. Now, this would have been last spring. Now, the money had to be spent by this week, the week that we're in right now. The project had to be done, I should say, this week, so the money could be spent out by the end of November. So we had one of the bids only came in like 2 days before this because we reached out and said, hey, will you please put a bid in? We're not sure we're going to have the competing bids. We didn't know how many were in or how many weren't in. So they just threw a bid in. Now, they were the higher bid, couldn't award it. Local builder, a builder outside of the community was the lowest bid. We awarded it. We got into August and they still hadn't contacted us. So it made provisions to get the work started. So long story short, we're sitting there like, hey, we're not going to get this project done. So we go back to the group that monitors the bid and said, hey, listen, there's the story. Can we go with the higher bidder? They said, sure, let's do that. It's a local bidder. It's Beechdale. Want to give a big shout out to them. And we awarded the bid. Then now the question became to them, can you get the project done? So mind you, they didn't know they had the project because we gave it to the other because of the stipulations. And now they're looking at it and saying, well, our fall builders are full busy right now. So they're like, I don't, so we've sat down with them, looked at it. They said, okay, well, we think we can make this work. So they jumped in. So again, if they hadn't jumped in, we would have lost this opportunity. So they jumped in, rearranged their schedules, made it work, and completed the job last week. All but painting. We took the painting out because it wasn't specified in the contract. So we pulled it out so we could shorten the project up. Then we were getting the painting done on the back end, anyway, all that to say, long, crazy story. Hope you followed all the details there. But the real win is, the real high five is we now have ADA bathrooms in our building. I'm so excited. So I'm going to show you, I've got 4 pictures here. And I'll kind of show them to you. I just went out and took them here before the thing. I thought even of taking the camera out now and kind of walking through the area, but let me show you. So this first picture, you'll see a stay out sign. Here's something I learned. I didn't know this. When the project was done, we had to have the inspector come in and they went through everything and they only issued us a temporary occupancy because it's not painted. So apparently to get in a commercial building, you have to have the walls painted to get a permanent occupancy. So learned that, didn't know paint was important to the occupancy reality of it. So that's why the do not enter signs and the painters are there working. So this is, if you can picture the corner of the gym. So this is like you're standing looking towards Route 30, Lincoln Highway. Off to your right there in the corner. What we did is you'll see the hall is an ADA. There's a ramp that gets you in. There used to be a really awkward transition there. And then here's what that hall looks like. So now I'm standing in the hall looking back out there at the end of that picture. You'll see kind of where I would have walked in. So look at that big, wide ADA hall. And then we've got bathrooms. And in the middle is actually a shower room. Super excited about that. That'll help meet the need of the community. It can meet the need for multiple things, whether you're here playing basketball, whether you're here and maybe for our staff riding bike in or whatever and want to get showered. Also for those in our community that live out of cars and et cetera. Again, when you're in that position, where do you get showered? So this also meets that need. So then the really cool thing is if you continue down the hall away from that, this is now, here's my face. There you go. So that doorway there is the hall that goes into the ADA bathroom. So this is the corner of the building. So if any of you remember, this would have been in the youth center, like where the carpet ball was. There were some TVs in there. So now look, what we did is we raised this, to get these ADA in, they had to make this. So they said, hey, let's just finish off this corner for you. And then here's kind of that's on the back of the ADA bathrooms. Now, the really cool thing is those windows or the front of the windows, and this is a fun little tidbit about our building. If you look at all of our windows, the top of the windows are actually a false window. Somewhere in the history, They surfaced them off and then lowered the drop ceiling. I'm guessing for heating. I'm guessing because of I'm not sure 100% why. But anyway, we were able to open this up. We have new insulation up above in the roof now, so that hopefully efficiencies aren't a reality for us. So look at that gorgeous space now that we have, but super excited for that right there, ADA bathrooms. The other thing we're able to do then is the bathrooms that were there. They call them gang bathrooms, is I think the official term. But it's the ones where there's lots of stalls on that. Again, they're not ADA, but we were able to give them a facelift. So retain a lot of the historical data, the historical data. Goodness, not data. The historical bones to it, painted it, cleaned it up. Anyway, so they're all also remodeled and look great. So anyway, super high five. Thank you to Beachdale Builders, the Redevelopment Authority for awarding us the Community Development Block Grant. And again, Hirsch Painting is here painting right now. So thank you to them and the work that they've done with us. So super excited about that. If you're here for Extra Give, so Extra Give is coming next week. You want to stop in for Extra Give. There's the Food Truck Frenzy. You can come on in and see that space. Hopefully it'll be painted and ready to go, all done by then. But the Food Truck Frenzy, people have asked, is this like last year's? It is different. It is food trucks, so you get to come, and there'll be multiple food trucks for you to purchase your dinner if that's what you want. And then they'll have a live band here, but that will be inside this year. So you can actually eat and be inside. Last year with the snow and the wind and everything, we're like, and the other thing we're doing, just want to kind of talk this out to you, kind of give you kind of the I always like, for me, I was like, well, what's behind that? Here's behind the scenes. We're actually moving homecoming. If you remember, we do homecoming in the spring. We're moving that to the fall. So we just did it last spring, so we didn't want to lump it right in out like back to back. So this is going to kind of be a hybrid year for the food trucks. And then we're going to move homecoming out of the spring and into, so the homecoming then will be this coming weekend next year, 2024. The cool thing is, this is the first time you're going to hear this, actually. I haven't posted this or shared this anywhere. This spring, in place of homecoming, what we're doing is we're going to do a huge celebration, a big banquet off-site. We're renting, looking at a facility right now, trying to get the dates and all that stuff. So it'll be coming. But it's a huge celebration, looking to have a guest speaker come, because it is our 30th anniversary, our 30th birthday, if you will, for the factory. So super excited about that. So that's going to happen. So anyway, so next week is Extra Give, Food Truck Frenzy in the evening. Now, the thing I'll share with it's not just the event. Yes, the event is a fundraising event, but more than that, all day long is the giving. It's an online giving day. I want to say thank you to these business sponsors. You'll see Hirsch Painting. They're here painting right now. So I love that they're also a sponsor. Here's Beachdale, also sponsored. And again, they just did that work for us. So a big shout out to them. We have Stoltzfus Meats right here in the Intercourse area. Alan Meyer has been a significant partner with us over the last few years and really stepped in this year. So a huge thank you to them. Paradise Energy right down the road has also sponsored in the past and continues to. Paradise Custom Kitchens, a significant business sponsor year after year. They're right up the road here from us. So big thank you to them. MK Builders, across the street from us, actually, right here in our area. And say thank you to Merv and his team. And finally, Lancaster Civil Engineering, Ben Craddock and his team, a big thank you to them. But that is Extra Give coming next week, giving all day long. And then we're going to celebrate here in the evening with food trucks, music. There will be the fire trucks will be here again for that. There'll be bonfires again. So just a opportunity to come on out, celebrate, give, and be a part of what's happening here and the difference that you can make through that. So that's next week. Look at my sheet here. Sorry, I had to take that. With that, right on the heels of that comes Thanksgiving. So if you're a participant, if you're someone that's like, man, I'm struggling right now and could really use food or not sure where to get, there is an opportunity for Thanksgiving meals happening on November 20th. That requires a registration, so please give us a call. You can call or text into let me give you the number here right now. Here it is. There you go. Actually, I'm not sure that's our text number anymore. That is definitely the call number. Hold on a second. Let me edit that for you because I am not 100% sure that is our text number. So that is definitely, let's go with that. There is the call number. So give that number a call to get registered for Thanksgiving. If you're like, hey, I could really use that support. So that it's an opportunity. So what it'll be is you'll be able to register. There'll be meat here. There'll be other products. You actually be able to come. It's not just a box you get. You actually be able to come on the 20th and you'll shop and get to pick the products that you want to host and have a Thanksgiving meal. Next, what I want to mention is then right after Thanksgiving, we're in the Christmas season. Some of you already feel that now. The Christmas trees are out at Walmart. You're beginning to see the Christmas music. I was in the car with. Is it ever too early for Christmas music? What do you think about that? I don't know. My daughters, I was driving with them it was one day this week, and they said, "Dad, can I put Christmas music on?" So they jumped on my phone, and we were listening to Christmas music. Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You," and then all the other good stuff started coming. So anyway, so Christmas is right here. So with Christmas, we have a fun one. The Gingerbread House Extravaganza happening on December 1st. That you need to register for. Again, call that number. There's also information on our various platforms. So call that number to get registered. And then on the back end of the gingerbread at 7 o'clock that night is a Christmas tree lighting. So that's for everyone, whether you come to the Gingerbread Extravaganza or not. And it's hosted by all of the local community churches. So the pastors will be here putting that on. So we'll sing Christmas carols. There will be a bonfire. There will be a short presentation and cookies and hot chocolate. So again, and then we'll light up the Christmas tree right here in the community with a star up top. So a big thank you to the local pastors. But you want to be a part of that as well. You don't need to register for that, but if you do want to be at the Gingerbread House Extravaganza, which is right before that you do need to register for. And then the final thing I want to mention is the Christmas gift program. If you're someone that's like, man, I don't know how I'm going to make Christmas happen for my kids, we have an opportunity. Again, call, get registered. There's information where you can fill out a form where actually what you do is you let us know what you want very specifically. We connect with donors. So if you're a donor and you're like, hey, I'd love to be a part of this, or maybe the church, you can then go out and purchase gifts that they want. And then those of you who actually sign up for it, you get to come in on December 18th and actually pick those gifts up. And actually the cool thing is, it's dignifying, is it's not just being handed to you. You get to come in and purchase that for $1. That's our way of saying, hey, you're a part of this. I know. I remember in the past, I've had Christmases where, boy, making Christmas happen was next to impossible. And yeah, it's nice when someone gives me something, but I want to, it's just something about as a parent saying, I want to be able to provide this for my kids. So that's our way of helping you feel that and sense that. And then you get to we'll have wrapping paper here. You can wrap your gifts here and take that home for your kids. So that is all the what's coming right around the corner in the next 2 months. So extra give, and then we got Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc. So with that said, let me look at my notes here. So there's one more thing that's coming. Sorry, this coming Sunday. Let me show you this. This coming Sunday, Grace Point Church will be here in our building again. So if you're like, man, maybe you're someone who's very familiar with the factory, comes in and out of the factory. You're thinking, man, it's coming to the holidays. I'd love to give church a try, but I just don't know. I don't know if I want to walk into them. Well, they make it really easy for you. You already feel comfortable here. Come on out to them this Sunday at 10:15 in the morning. So they're going to be here. Pastor Tim Rogers and their team will be here. Again, right in our gym area, and those bathrooms that I had earlier, hopefully they're painted, and that way, because they can't be occupied unless they're painted. So you'll get to see them as well. Okay, final thing I want to share, and then I'll leave with some encouragement, a dad joke or two, and wish you well on the rest of your week. Sorry, it went away. There it is. So this is our giving, our food donations we're looking for through the month of November. We're looking for saltines, ravioli and spaghetti, pasta, applesauce, turkey pans. Specifically, we're saying, hey, the Dollar Tree ones, they have them there, that size, that specifically, and that's for our Thanksgiving giveaway. Spaghetti sauce and soup. This is what we're looking for right now. So that's where you can purchase those things and drop them off, or you can pull some friends together, or maybe a small group or a church group or a school group or your neighbors or your family can pull together and be a part of that. That's a big fun. Okay. Final thing I'll say, I want to read this note from, this is a cool story. And then I want to just leave with some encouragement for you. It's a cool story here. Just again, when I do this, I like to just share, there's so much that happens here and so many lives that are being impacted and changed. But anyway, so here's, just want to give you one that someone shared with me, and I don't want to misrepresent it. So let me grab it here for you. So not much in the roster for this week. Could share, sorry, hold on a second. Read the note. It's not for, yesterday, a group from our after school program in the youth center went on a field trip to Lancaster Log Cabins. So big shout out to Lancaster Log Cabins and the work that they do here in our community and sponsorship here at the factory. So our after school program went down and visited them and kind of checked out what they do, give an opportunity to kind of see, hey, the woodworking and the production of that, and kind of explore that as a career. And they learned all about the things. So our after school program, it's a really cool program. It includes time for homework completion where staff and volunteers are available. They help students with their questions, assignments, and projects. And then there's always an opportunity to connect and build relationships there with those leaders. Just kind of work through resource development, et cetera, in a positive environment, which is a big deal. School is a big deal, and getting through school sometimes can be difficult. And so we have that after school program, get to do those field trips, et cetera. So huge thank you to Ebeth, Gabe, and the team. Dave, I know he comes out and volunteers. Joe and some of the others. So huge thank you and the impact that is making. Okay. Final thing we're going to end with is I always like to end with some encouragement. So I just finished this book. I was in this book for, I bet 6 months. I read it, reread it, studied it, looked at it, just for some own personal growth of some things I was struggling with, and even some impact that in relationships that I have and I'm in, and like in my mind blindness and things. I'm like, man, so anyway, this was life-giving. Think Again by Adam Grant. So anyway, I just kind of officially worked through it, and I'll push it onto my shelf. So I'm thinking through some of the principles of it. And one of them that really hit me, it's one of the things he said in the book. This is kind of this thought about, here's what it says: when it comes to our own knowledge and opinions, we often favor feeling right over being right. So when he read that, I thought, is that true of me? Like, I really started thinking about it. I thought, ooh, it might be at times. Are there, am I really right in this thing that I'm saying, or do I just feel right? And that's all that really matters, is I feel right. So he says, is Adam Grant, he's actually not too far from us, is at Wharton Business School, researches there. And he, through his working, he's like, hey, reality shows we want to feel right, not be right. We don't really value being right. We don't really value the truth. We value feeling like I have the truth. Anyway, so he writes then about how do we live in a way that keeps our mind, that we can be he talks about it's important to be confident. So he's not mitigating that you just doubt and to be skeptical. He's be confident, but how do you do in a way that your mind is open and to rethinking? So here's one of the things he said: knowledge is power. Knowing what we don't know is wisdom. So know a thing, that's power, but knowing what we don't know is wisdom. So I thought that was a cool way to state it. And then he talks about the rethinking cycle. And this is what the book is about. So let me encourage you with this. It really starts with humility. That ability to just say, hey, I don't know what I don't know. I'm going to be honest about that. I'm not going to have my identity wrapped up in, and he spends some time talking about identity and things in the book. So I'm going to be humility. And then because of humility, I'm going to just step towards doubt. It's okay to say, I don't know. It's okay when I'm in a room and everyone seems to know and I'm not sure I'm following, to ask the question. It's okay to lean into the things that I have had with such confidence, and to have that doubt, and then lean in with curiosity. Allow the doubt then to ask questions and probe and look and rethink and relook at things from a different angle. He ultimately talks about how we tend to be either we're preachers, prosecutors, or or lawyers, kind of is the way he looks at it. There's another P word there, but I can't remember the other P word now. So anyway, is how we tend to approach truth and the things we know. And then the final stage is discovery. And then that kind of leads them back around to humility. So anyway, so it really challenged me. Do I want to feel right or do I really want to be right? And just really challenged me how just keep an open heart and open mind, constantly be searching and learning and evaluating and with humility. And I think if I can learn to that, if we can learn to do that, I think we get along a lot better in our world as humans. But I think I grow as a person and I am a lot more successful in life as a person and individual. So hope at some level that encourages you and brings you some level of, yeah, I can do that. Okay, with that said, here we go. Let's wrap up. Got a dad joke for a couple dad jokes. We'll wrap this up and then anyway. So a friend of mine says the other day, if I had I was over at his house and he said, "Hey, did you see the dog bowl?" And I thought, the dog bowl, like, did he have it sitting around somewhere? Like, what does he mean? And I said, so that popped in my head. I said, actually, no, I didn't know it could bowl. This next one isn't so much a dad joke. It's more of a dad thought. This kind of hit me the other week. At a certain point in your life, this hit me on a Friday evening, actually. At a certain point in your life, I'm not sure what this point is, sitting at home alone watching TV on a Friday night, at a certain point in your life, that goes from being super depressing to the most enjoyable part of your week. Not sure what that, do you relate to that? Not sure what part of life that is and where that happens and what happens. When I was the other week, there was nothing to do. I thought I had plans and everyone all went their own way. And there I was. I had that dad thought. Final one I'll share is the other day I had the rudest, slowest, nastiest cashier ever. But you know what? It's really my own fault for using the self-checkout. Just joking. Okay, love and appreciate you. Had a lot to share there. And again, love to see you next week at Extra Give. Grace Point will be here this week. Come check out the bathrooms and the new ADA space. Super excited about that. Love and appreciate you. Thanks for all you do. If there's ever anything we can do for you and journey with you, please reach out. We'd love to journey with you. Okay. Have a great week. Enjoy your weekend. And I will see you hopefully next week.